Following breaking news right now at 10 o'clock after hundreds of protesters marched up onto 277 in uptown Charlotte tonight. This is video we shot around 9 o'clock when the interstate was shut down because of those protesters. They have since left the highway. Live pictures now in uptown Charlotte tonight on the fourth night of protesting. A smaller crowd here you can see at the corner holding up signs, and they've been chanting and peacefully protesting throughout the night. We've been bringing you continuing coverage of this major story affecting Charlotte and our country for the past several days. I'm Scott Wickersham.
I'm Erica Bryant, and here's what we know so far tonight. Late this afternoon, the attorney for the family of Keith Scott, the man who was shot and killed by a CMPD officer, released this cell phone video from that day. And new tonight, presidential candidate Hillary Clinton has pushed back her plans to come to Charlotte this weekend after Mayor Jennifer Roberts said that it would be better for Clinton to wait.
The citywide curfew will go into effect again tonight in just 2 hours. We have a team of reporters monitoring how leaders and community members are keeping the peace tonight.
And we begin with Eyewitness News reporter Elsa Gillis from Chopper 9 Skyzoom tonight. Elsa, you saw the protesters close down I-277 at one point. That was just about an hour ago.
Yeah, that's right, and they've moved towards the epicenter now, although this is not the full crowd that we've seen for the past hour and a half now. It seems like they've decided to stop for a little while, but this crowd has been on the move for the past 2 hours, really. They started around Romare-Bearden Park. They moved down Caldwell and onto Brookshire Freeway and shut it down, as you just said, for at least a half hour. It did reopen around 9:30, but there were backups in both directions about a mile long. They got off of the Brookshire Freeway at the Tryon and Church exit and continued to the epicenter where you see them here, and we're still trying to find exactly where the whole crowd has gone. We saw several hundred people walking in unison, holding signs. You see a lot of signs right there. There are 3 major signs that we're seeing, and the message there we're seeing, release the tapes. That's what we've been seeing over and over again. We'll be monitoring these protests and where they're moving throughout the night. Erica Scott.
Thank you, Elsa. And another look at some video that we captured from Chopper 9 Skyzoom. This was about an hour ago, around 9 o'clock tonight, as those protesters marched onto I-277 near Bank of America Stadium. And for a time, it was a dangerous situation, and they were eventually turned back. Eyewitness News reporter Deshaun Brown was live out there on the ground as the protesters tried to make their way onto the highway. Deshaun?
Well, Erica, thankfully, most of those people were able to get off safely. They're now spilling here into Romare-Bearden Park. But we had been following them for about an hour when we noticed the crowd taking sort of the outskirts through uptown, headed onto I-277. At that point, the law enforcement presence was much more visible as we saw some of the officers in tactical gear start to approach protesters who were in the highway. But at that point, we were also turned away and told to clear off of the bridge. So I wasn't able to see how they got to that point. But as you can see right now, they've shifted their focus back through uptown Charlotte. They've been taking more of the outskirts. We didn't see as much of the march going through the heart of uptown or the epicenter, Time Warner Cable Arena. Other spots we had noticed earlier in the week. But at this point, many of the people here still crying for answers. I spoke to one protester and just asked how the release of the cell phone video today changed it or maybe motivated them to march even more. And she said they're still out here demanding answers. Scott, Erica?
All right, Deshaun, thank you. In the past 20 minutes, after saying she was going to be here on Sunday, Hillary Clinton just announcing she will postpone that visit to Charlotte.
And this comes just hours after Mayor Jennifer Roberts went on CNN to say that police resources are already stretched thin here in the Charlotte area, and the visit that Clinton had planned to make here on Sunday would be difficult on the city.
At this point, we do have very stretched resources for security, and they are working around the clock. If there will be a way to delay those visits.
But there are still a lot of big events in uptown planned to move forward this weekend, including the Sunday Panthers game.
Eyewitness News reporter Paul Boyd is live uptown tonight. Paul, extra security will make those events even more challenging.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott and Erica, and I think that was the broader point that Jennifer Roberts and a lot of people were trying to make is, look, we're in a state of emergency to start with. We've got the Panthers game, which is always a high security event whenever it's a home game. On top of that, adding a presidential candidate into the mix, not exactly an ideal time. Want to get a quick thought from security expert for Channel 9, Ross Bulla. How significant in terms of a drain on resources would that visit have meant?
It frees up significant local and federal law enforcement officials as well as local EMS and fire assets. It's a significant burden off our shoulders right now, especially with pre-planning as well.
All right, appreciate that. Ross Bulla, security expert.
You're looking at here a large group rallying in Atlanta tonight as well in response to the officer-involved shooting here in Charlotte. The Atlanta NAACP organized the march they say is focused on ending police violence all around the country. The event started with a rally at the Center for Civil and Human Rights and a march through that city. Both organizations and police called for a peaceful demonstration there. And breaking in the last 10 minutes, the SBI released a statement about its role in the shooting investigation into Keith Scott's death.
The state agency also says discussions are actively underway between local officials regarding the release of video from CMPD cameras that captured the shooting. Now, the statement reads in part, the SBI has dedicated significant resources to investigate this case and will report back to the district attorney when that investigation is complete. It also says that CMPD remains the custodian of the original video recording and as such has the legal authority to release it.